Embarking on a transformative journey through Arabia, Guru Nanak spent over 3 months in the ancient city of Kufa. Immersed in Kirtan, the Guru drew large congregations seeking spiritual solace. Among the seekers was Salima, a woman attending to find tranquility in these sacred gatherings. Salima's husband, a camel trader, was away on a long trip to Egypt. But little did they know that his return would unveil a tale of faith, devotion, and divine intervention. So, let's delve into this miraculous journey, documented by Tajuddin, who accompanied the Guru on this transformative path. In a lively town named Kufa, there lived a woman named Salima. She was known for her unwavering faith and devotion to Guru Nanak, a revered spiritual leader. One day, as Salima sat in the evening congregation, she felt an overwhelming sense of peace and entered a deep trance. Guru Nanak, sensing her spiritual state, instructed Tajuddin to gently ask Salima to return home. This instruction surprised Tajuddin, as never before had the Guru interrupted someone in deep meditation. Awakening to the Baba's instructions, Salima promptly headed home, taking 10 steps before turning back to the Guru, expressing her belief that her husband had returned and promised to bring him the next day. In a gentle tone, the Baba reminded her to be patient and maintain humility, to which Salima, touching the Guru's feet, acknowledged before leaving. However, upon reaching home, Salima discovered her husband surrounded by busybodies, and she noticed that the rumors of trampling on his respect and dignity had already turned him against her. Despite his hostility, she welcomed him respectfully and revealed how her prayers had saved him from execution in Egypt. Intrigued, her husband questioned, "Salima, who told you about Egypt? I haven't told a soul." Salima said, "I know that you came home from Egypt, dug out 500 gold coins, and gave them to your nephew Majid. But dear one, first tell me, why did you have to appear in the Egyptian court?" Upon her inquiry, her husband replied, "I don't know what to say, other than my problems just appeared out of nowhere. If a gentle soul had not come to my rescue and bailed me out, then I wouldn't have been able to pay my debt to Majid, and I wouldn't have seen you again." Curious, Salima asked, "Who bailed you? And tell me exactly what happened." Sharing the tale, her husband began, "While we were passing by an orchard, our favorite camel broke off a branch from an apple tree and started nibbling on it. The orchard owner came running out and was beside himself with anger. He hit the camel in the head with a stone, and the camel fell dead. I lost my temper watching my favorite camel get killed, so I grabbed the same stone and threw it on the old Egyptian man. But sadly, he died on the spot. I tried to run away with my camels, but got caught. The old man's family took me to the court, seeking my execution. The ruler over there listened to the statement from the old man's family and turned towards me angrily, saying, 'Have you heard the charge against you?' I humbly responded, 'Yes, Your Highness.' But the old man had killed my favorite camel with a stone. I couldn't tolerate his death and struck the old man with the same stone. But unfortunately, he died. Your Highness, that camel was priceless to me." The ruler asked, "If they had killed your camel, you could have sued this family for damages in my court. I would have done justice to you. Do you know, now you will face death for this murder? Is there anything else that you wish to add?" Yes, Your Highness. If you could please grant me a 3-day reprieve, I have been holding some property in trust which belongs to the orphans. Only I know where it's hidden. I will return this property and will hurry back in 3 days. I have no further requests. The ruler said, if somebody is willing to be a guarantor, you can go for 3 days. And then all of a sudden, I spotted a man dressed in white. He had a beautiful glowing face, and something in his eyes made me think that he was asking me to pick him up. So I pointed to the man and said, this gentleman will be my guarantor. The ruler turned to the man and asked, will you post a bail for this murderer? The man did not refuse, and without hesitation, he affirmed that he will take responsibility for me. If, as promised, I didn't return within 3 days, he agreed that they should execute him in my stead to avenge the murder. So, I rode my fastest camel here and hurried back after returning the orphan's property to market. Until I returned to Egypt, the kind face of my guarantor remained etched in my mind. I had vowed that I would not risk the life of such a kind soul. Upon arriving, I got off my camel and hurriedly walked into the court. As I arrived, the plaintiffs were already insisting that I would never return and my deadline had passed. They urged the ruler to avenge their murdered kin by killing the guarantor. The ruler praised me for returning on time. He went quiet, and after thinking for a while, he said, because of your exemplary honesty and the goodness of your guarantor, this court is acquitting you. Upon hearing the news, Salima's face lit up with a big smile, and she couldn't resist asking, do you still remember the face of the kind man who became your guarantor? Her husband said, of course I remember, but I don't think we can find him. After my acquittal, I looked for him everywhere, but no one seemed to know who he was. Salima asked, but would you be able to recognize him? Her husband said, him? The man who pulled me from the jaws of death? He'll always be in my memory. I will never forget his face. Salima said, it's been too long since I beheld the godly saints. I will return shortly. Her husband angrily said, no, you won't. First tell me who these people are. I heard they are Indians. Salima said, yes, they are Indians. Why don't you also come with me? Her husband said, this will never happen. I only adhere to the beliefs of my faith. I will never join you on that journey. However, during their conversation, Salima grew alarmed as she noticed something moving and cautioned her husband, saying, be careful, don't put your hand in there. Despite her warning, her husband ignored her and screamed when stung by a scorpion. Rushing to his aid, Salima swiftly sucked the venom from his finger. As the pain subsided, the husband, surprised, asked, Salima, do you possess any miraculous powers? Salima responded, it wasn't any miracle. I simply reflected on the Indian saint and sucked the venom from your finger. Your relief is attributed to the saint's mercy. The husband, now convinced, said, well, if you believe that the saint holds such a high spiritual state, then I will come with you. Salima walked ahead of her husband with excitement, anticipating the moment he would meet the Baba. About 50 steps from the Guru, her husband, overwhelmed, exclaimed, Salima, it's him! Salima, it's him! Truly, it's my guarantor from Egypt. As they neared Guru Nanak, the husband recognized his guarantor, ran towards him, and wept at his feet. Salima followed, and the Guru affectionately blessed them, guiding them on the divine path of Sadguru. As Salima and her husband embarked on this transformative journey, guided by the divine presence of Guru Nanak, they embraced the profound message of treating everyone with respect and equality, and also acknowledged the fundamental truth that there's one God uniting us all. I hope you liked today's story, as we'll be back soon with more captivating tales. Until then, take care and goodbye.